Mr. Levy.
Yo.
It's number 5. They still haven't kicked us off of BeTerrific.com
yet. They never will.
Behind the Laughter, myself, Dino, and Mr. Bob Levy. You know what? We had Tim in the last episode. You know, I forgot to tell you. When I went down to Florida, West Palm Beach. Now, I do this General Hospital event. Right? I run the event and stuff like that. A little side business from the club. And this woman came up to me, and she said, "Can you tell that lady to move her walker?" Now, I have a big aisle in the middle. For people who are handicapped, they got the scooters and whatever. So the lady wanted to sit on the edge, so she had her walker next to it. Yeah. I go, well, you're like 4 rows behind. Wow. What? The walker's not bothering you. The walker's in my picture frame when I take pictures.
Oh, my God.
I wanted to fucking smack this old lady so bad. You fucking believe that?
That's what, when people get old and
pick
close
up your camera then. You don't see it in the bottom frame. Edit it. Give it to a millennial.
They're close to their death, and they're just not happy with anything. It's horrible. It's horrible. That's why, you know, at 72, I think should be the age that everyone is killed.
Hands everything in.
Just it. Just walk into a building. They take your gun, they shoot you, and then that's it. I mean, there's no reason.
If you had a chance to shoot one person in the day and you wouldn't have a problem, you wouldn't get arrested or nothing like that, would you do it?
I'm not mad at anybody right now.
So I could do that easily.
Yeah, but I'm not. You know what?
They might nail me for 2 in a day. I might have to go.
No, I'll give you mine because like I don't look at life like that anymore.
No,
I used to, but that was the old me.
I hate people.
No, but I hate people too. That's why I have the T-shirt.
I fucking like people.
But the whole thing is that I don't let anything bother me anymore. I'm a new person now. So fuck it, man. I win. Nobody gets under my fucking. I just fucking don't deal with them, then. I don't give a fuck.
You can walk away.
I can walk.
I have to get off the stage. You can walk out the door.
I
got to deal with these schmucks.
I never was able to walk away. It seemed. You know what I mean? I would stay and just fucking argue and fucking I'm right and you're wrong and fuck you and I'll kill you.
I had a bachelorette party.
And that ain't me anymore. That's not me anymore.
I had a bachelorette party in about a month ago. And
you finger any?
Oh, fucking people. So now it was a bachelor party. They combined it.
Oh,
so there's about 18 women and about 6 guys.
Were they really guys, but truthfully?
They were guys. Yeah, they were guys.
I mean, can you really say they were guys for sure?
They were.
Agreed to having this party together?
So, of course, their brains said, oh, let's have the women all sit together and the guys sit away from them.
Make it seem like a separate party.
I go up to the woman who booked it. And I said, listen. I said, I didn't know it was a bachelorette party when you booked it.
Yeah.
But here's your first warning. And it was before the show even started.
Yeah.
This is your first warning. If I have to come over, you're going to get tossed.
Yeah.
No, we're all in our 50s. We're fine. Not 15 minutes into the fucking feature act, I had to go over to the table. Guys, you got to keep it down.
Yeah.
You got to keep it down. The women. Not the
We're just having a good time.
So then the woman who booked it came up to me at the desk. I am so sorry. I said, every time. Mm-hmm. Every time. I said, you guys don't get it. And listen, I don't want to throw away business.
Yeah.
But a bachelorette party, they're like, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
Who's getting late tonight? Who's doing what? Whatever. Continue it at the bar. Stay at the bar.
Stay home.
Why are you coming here?
Yeah. Why do you just go out? You know what I mean?
Are you going to go to Broadway play and start going, woo, woo?
Do they realize, women, do you realize how annoying these are sometimes? I mean, really.
But then the guys,
cut it out.
They're the boyfriends or the husbands, and they just let them do it.
But they're not going to argue.
They went to a bachelorette party.
Yeah, you can't say anything to women. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Us.
If you say something to them, then they get even crazier. So you have to just let it go.
That thing they have controls everybody.
You know, it's not really worth it anymore. You know what I mean? Look, guys, if you really think about it, what's the difference between an asshole and a vagina anyway? It's not that far. It's not that much work. You know, if he's going to just be cool and shut the fuck up, she's not gonna. So just go with it.
What a way to introduce our comedian guest of this week, Mr. Jimmy. Well, he used to be Jimmy Roundboy Graham, but now it's Jimmy Graham. But
kind of like Oval Boy.
I'm say, Jimmy Overboy. Jimmy, welcome in, man.
What's up, brother?
How you doing?
Doing good, man. You look good.
I know. I look different.
He looks like, he's shaped like Bluto now from Bluto and Popeye. Like, you know what I mean? But it's a good look.
That's it. I crush beer cans on my head every chance I get.
I love it. You know what I mean?
He's got the Santa Claus beard growing.
It's fucking cool.
I'm going to try.
When comedy's
Yeah,
slow
I'm
in
making money
December-
next year. That's right.
Yeah, when comedy's slow in December, you might as well do Santa.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a
he's
filthy
going,
Santa.
He's going like a 70s Bush. But
Nah, I ain't got enough hair yet.
I like it. You know what I mean? Like I said, once you get to a certain age, you say, fuck, I don't
Yeah,
care what I
that's
look
it.
like
Fuck
anymore.
it, man. You kidding me?
Really?
I don't give a what am I supposed to do? I'm married again. I'm not going to get married ever again. This is the last one. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't give a fuck. I'm just I just want to fucking eat and fucking drink and smoke weed and fucking, just get fat and smoke a joint and play with my tits. I don't give a fuck anymore. It's over.
You want to become me?
Yeah, maybe I do. But you understand? Why am I fucking... I'm done with that. What do you think? I'm going to go to a gym? To impress what? You know what I mean? No matter what, they're going to say, oh, look at the weird-looking old guy that's fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You stick out a lot more. I'm not going to have
No.
fucking muscles and this head.
At this age, I can't go to strip clubs anymore. It's ridiculous. I see students.
Yeah, they're like,
Mr. Graham! Holy shit!
Yeah, my grandfather. Yeah, exactly. It's so...
I used to be your paper girl. Remember me? Oh. Yeah, I can't do it, man.
Actually, the last time Paul Veneer was at the club,
Mm-hmm.
kid came in. He says, "Yeah, my grandfather used to come out and see you." I'm like, "Oh shit."
See, that's fucked up. The worst I ever get is my father used to listen to you, or my uncle.
Well, that's not that bad.
Yeah, no, that's not bad. I'm happy with that.
Especially your fan base. Probably had kids when they were 16, so it makes his father 32.
Hey, but my fans are the best, truthfully.
Yeah,
If
they
he
are.
can't come to your show at 16, he's leaving 35.
Well, that's what it is. People have done good stuff like that for
with
the
a
kids.
side of blue cheese in his pocket.
No, but I mean, they learn life. They didn't learn fucking fake life.
No.
I didn't change it because you knew you were there.
No.
I knew you were there. Let's have fun. Let's teach you, kid.
So how'd you get started, Jimmy?
Me? I started, I was a route man for Pepsi Cola, and I stepped off my truck the wrong way and broke my femur. So I snapped it. I
Okay.
had 4 pins in my leg, and I got all bummed out. And
So you broke a leg before you even got on
that's
stage.
it. That's it. It was set. Break a leg. Don't ever say that to me again. But, yeah, I broke it, and I was in a wheelchair for about 6 months, and there was a little place down the road that was doing comedy.
Okay.
And I'll never forget, we started going once a month. They would have the comedy, and it made me feel better. And then the one time we went, and there was like 3 comics, and they were just, I don't know who they were. They were horrible.
They're horrible.
And my buddies were all like, yo, you should do this, Jimmy.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh, man, nah, I ain't doing this shit.
Yeah.
And the guy that booked the show overheard them, and he goes, you think you're funny? I'll tell you what, you come back, you bring me 15 people next month, and I'll let you do 4 minutes. I'm like, yeah, all right. And I didn't do it. I just said, screw it. And it was 2 days before that show, everybody in my neighborhood's called me. They're like, come on, Jimmy, we're going to go watch it. We're going to go watch it. And I showed up that night, and the guy that booked me wasn't there. And that's the night I met you, Bob.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Yeah, I met Bob
remember that.
Levy. That was the first time I ever did comedy. I walked up
Oh,
on
shit,
stage.
it was,
Yeah.
because I remember talking to you after.
I walked up on stage, and I still have the napkin. And I did my show, and
Probably has
he
cum on
wasn't
it.
there. He wasn't there. And I did.
That's
I
a
think I did
story
like
for a different show.
12 minutes. Yeah. But after it was all over, you came up to me, and you're like, "All right, what'd you change your name from? You've done this before." And I'm like, "No." And he goes, "Well, here." And you took a napkin and
Really?
you wrote Boob Levy. You added another O.
Yeah, I changed my name since
And
then.
you gave me the number, and you handed it to me. And I think about 2 days later, I called you, and man, I was in that seat next to you for about 4 years.
Wow.
Nice.
And we went all over doing comedy, and I loved it, man. It was the first thing I
It
got
was
on
so
stage.
much fun then. See, that's
Oh,
what we're talking
dude,
about.
we
We
had-
had fun. It was when comedians shared rooms and they had to get to know each other
Oh,
and
yeah.
fucking have fun instead of just having that weird thing. That's the difference between comedians today and back then, because then you went out and you had a good time. You fucking both fucking drinking all night, and then
Yep.
you're in a room and you're fucking laughing.
Well, comics now, they pull their phone out of their backpack back and they talk to each other from one
Yeah,
bed to the
exactly.
other, and they text each other. We went out like when the show was over, the night had just begun,
Exactly.
and we would, oh my God, we'd go out.
We were
all
off of
night.
work now.
Yeah.
You were off at work.
That's it.
Maybe
That's
the
your
work
happy
was,
hour.
but the work was only a short time, and then
man,
with the rest is like, hey,
We would go out to the crowd afterwards, and people would invite us back to their house.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was crazy. And many nights we did. We'd leave the club and we'd partied all night, and then boom, we'd go
and
back.
we fucked people's wives. I mean,
daughters, whoever was around, actually. Poodles. Yeah, what the hell, you know.
Poodles?
Yeah, poodles, you know. Hey.
no, but it was, you know what I mean? It was a different time. I mean,
Oh, it was, man.
I feel like I'm like talking about one of them hippies talking about Woodstock. You know what I mean? It was like, it was a different time. It was like fucking, if you seen somebody, if somebody was hot and they liked you or whatever, you fucked them. It wasn't thinking about, we're going to date or anything, because now it's be like, oh my God, now she'll just keep calling me. She had that attitude too.
Yep.
They just wanted, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, I
Hit
don't
and
know.
run.
I don't know
was-
this cock out in this town.
I was heavy, so I was just the wingman.
Yeah.
Bobby would
No,
go.
and the mozzarella guy. you were the wingman.
Yes, the wing. And I would go find the girls so he could do the cream.
Associated with the pickle man, the mozzarella guy.
No,
That was the guy that I was talking about that gave me the first gig.
Pickle man.
He was Pickle
Oh,
Man.
it was Pickle Man.
Yeah,
we
and it
just
was-
did a whole thing about him last
Oh, my
week.
God,
It
man.
was.
Poop, there it is.
Oh, don't even bring it. Like, it's not
Oh,
comedy. It's
that's
not
fucking
funny.
No, it's
legendary,
not.
that
You know what I
line.
mean?
It was
Somebody-
hideous. Man.
Somebody should, truthfully, like I said, I was talking about the Amish mafia, the comedy mafia. Somebody should break his fucking legs so he can't fucking stand up anymore. Truthfully, he's got to stay off the stage.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not funny.
Nah,
it's not funny.
He does ruin a show.
You are ruining not
Ruin
the show,
comedy.
our business.
Yep.
That, you know what I mean? It's like you don't go into any business. You know what I mean? You don't come into here, and they got all these cameras. You know what I mean? And they're filming. You know what I mean?
A knitting class.
A knitting. Yeah, it doesn't fucking go like that. You don't do
I need
that.
my appendix out. I'll give that a shot.
Yeah.
Let me take care of you for you.
But that's what it is. That's why you need control in this business.
Oh, yeah, man.
There has to be something you have to pass. You know?
Well, it got to the point where we had our up-ins. Like we'd start in this business, and you'd find a headliner that you got along with, and you would go with, and you were strong enough to open for them, and we'd go and we'd earn our stripes. We'd actually get our stuff. Today, it's not about getting out there. It's not about being funny and performing. It's how many followers you have, and
That's what everybody
Facebook
says.
and you and all that stuff,
And
it's-
friends in the neighborhood.
exactly, and that's
know?
it's crazy because it's not about talent anymore. It's about how many people you can put in the seats.
Somebody said to me, he goes, how many people can you bring? And I said, well, against their will? Or, I mean, truthfully, I don't know anybody here. I'm going to have to put a gun to somebody's house and walk up and say, hey, you're fucking coming to a comedy show because this is how I can get on stage these days because everybody's fucking worried about fucking making money instead of putting a fucking talent up there. You know what I mean? Fuck you. Fuck you and this fucking, you come into this business thinking you know what the fuck you're doing. You're ruining it, you pieces of
Gotta be a
shit.
mix, though. I mean, like, how many times have somebody come up to you after a show and said, why aren't you on TV?
yeah, that happens. And you're
And
like,
the reason
well,
why is because maybe the social media isn't as strong as it should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I am guilty of that.
Right.
Social media, but I'm like, I'm from a different. I don't know. I try it. I do it. I end up getting crazy. Sometimes I argue, and then I'm like, no, that's not what this is
can't
about.
You gotta
So,
hire a millennial to do it.
You just got.
You just don't argue with people.
Hire millennials
I
to
don't
do it.
argue with people.
Yep. Yeah, I used to, and I don't anymore.
I get
Now,
like
exactly like you
two
said. I just
people
go,
with fake
I don't
things
give
on
a
Twitter
shit.
that come up and they go, "You suck," and I'm like, "Thank you." I don't care.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get to me.
No.
You know what I mean?
Most of my social media, I got a girl doing it. I got
That's
the girl
what I need. I
Jolene.
do.
She's doing it. I pay her $75 a week. Boom. She
It's-
does it.
That's the way to do it. Because it is a part of the business that is necessary in today's
Also to
market,
promote
but it's just
yourself.
right.
Yeah.
But it's to go the old school way of references.
And mailing
this
out
guy.
postcards.
And, yeah, man. We used to send out the press kit. We sent out the press kit, man. we had headshots, man. I had a headshot. In fact, you had my very first headshot.
Still hanging on the wall.
It was
It never fell off.
But you had it on your website till about 2 years ago.
Well, that's my brother.
I got this headshot done the very first time in somebody's house, and the guy shows it to me afterwards, and I was so fat I had this carbuncle.
Oh shit! I remember that thing. Oh.
The guy goes, "I can take care of that for you." And
I'm gonna throw up.
What are you a surgeon too? No, I can edit it. No, I don't want that. And people are going to go, "Where'd that lump come from? He's got cancer."
I know. That is fucked up.
I had no neck at all. It was great. It was just a chin sitting on a chest. It was, I didn't need a pillow ever.
So you came in with the short bus tour.
Oh, yeah.
Timmy, we just talked about the last episode, but how'd you get into my club? Was it Levy or was it the short bus thing?
It was Bobby and this kid, Delangelo. Paulie.
Paulie.
Meatball.
Yeah, Paulie.
Meatball was working, and they had talked to you about me, but then I really didn't get into your club until
The short bus.
the short bus. And then I remember meeting you outside, and you're like, "I've been trying to get you in here for 3 years. What the hell's going on?"
You were the funny guy at the short bus.
I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that was horrible." It's like, "What's your handicap?" I'm like, I'm fat. I have diabetes, and I have poor choice in friends. How's that? I was the bus driver.
I'm type 2.
I got type 2 diabetes. I'm insulin dependent.
My hair's falling out.
And your sister gave me chlamydia. There you go. What do you think of that?
My elbow stays like this. I mean, it's like everybody's got a disability. If you look at it the way people call disabilities these days, you know?
Oh,
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? I got a service dog. I should have brought him.
Really?
Next time I will. Cooper, man.
Every dog now, like anybody can be a comedian. Any dog can be a service dog these years. It's really fucked up.
It is the truth.
It's like somebody had to service fish on a fucking plane or something like that. Fuck you. You're not that fucked up in the head.
They ruined it for us. I went to the hospital, and I brought my dog, and they had to bring the head of nursing down because previously that week, somebody brought in a emotional support snake into a hospital. You know, a dog is a dog, and that's the way. But anyway, he's a PTSD
snake can't lick
service
your ball.
dog.
I mean, go ahead.
I brought him with me to a show, and Jimmy Florentine came in, and he does this whole 10-minute bit on ripping people that have service dogs. And I came walking up, I'm like, "Yeah, this is my dog."
Yeah, because it's like everybody has anything now. It's like they just want to be part of something that's fucked up.
Right. They want a free seat on the plane.
Yeah,
My
they
dogs have
think
it
they're
coming.
entitled to. You're not entitled to anything. You have to earn it.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, that short bus tour.
The short bus tour was a
Timmy ended up being okay.
grand idea, but a really
It is a great idea to just fucking have a.
You can't do that now.
Oh no! You kidding me? There was many a times when we went to different clubs and they're like, "I don't know if this is. I'm comfortable with this," because everybody talking about disabilities. But I'm like, that's in your face. Is what? Listen, these people are the one to have them.
Yeah, look at them.
I'm not sitting there going, "Look at that guy. Look at that guy."
Yeah,
you know,
we're
talking
saying,
about
look at
themselves.
us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what you guys are saying.
Exactly.
Hey, we're fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We're looking at it. I mean, he fucking got a fucked up back. Okay. One guy has Tourette's and he's
The
a
other one had,
cocksucker. And you're just fucking fat. You got everything covered there.
We had a cerebral palsy guy too.
You see, you can't go wrong with
Kateo,
that.
right?
He had one size 11 foot, one size 7 foot. It was freaking bizarre.
Wow.
He's a funny guy. Mike's a funny guy. Mike.
Who is it?
Mike Kateo.
I don't know him.
You don't know Mike Kateo? Very funny guy.
I gotta
He
see
could buy a
him.
pair of shoes and return them and say, "I want in the box."
Yeah,
It's a money bag.
He has a Nike and a clown shoot on.
He's got 17 sets of shoes just like those at home.
Oh,
You know.
shit.
One on the right.
And who was the other one? Twitchell's?
Yeah.
Twitchell's, yes, my man Twitchell's.
He's back. He's back around.
Yeah, I coached
he's twitching
him
around.
in football and wrestling when he was 5 years old.
Did he say like "fuck" when somebody's trying
he
to pin him?
didn't curse then, but he would go.
How do
That's
you-
when he had Tourette's. Right now, I don't know.
But how did How do you wrestle somebody with Tourette's without pissing yourself?
This is how it worked, okay? I think he was 5 years old, so he's just a spaz. Most 5-year-olds were, and I was coaching the tots. And I'll never forget it.
That
At the end
doesn't
of the season,
say much about your talent as a teacher.
Yeah.
You know,
No, well,
they're
listen.
basically retarded kids then.
We throw him on the mat. Whatever happens.
he don't win. But
If the priest doesn't get a boner, we all win. Oh, my God. You sound like you really know what you're doing at this fucking place.
His
Tell us.
parents came in at the end and handed in his singlet, and they looked at me and they went, "He loves you, and we just want to say thank you for dealing with him with his problem." And I said, "What problem?"
Yeah,
And
he's
they're
an
like, "He has
asshole.
Tourette's." And I'm like, "I just thought the kid was a fucking asshole."
Yeah,
I'd be like,
exactly.
"Shut the fuck up! What is wrong with you? What is? Come on, knock it off!" You know. But then I took out the sign up form and I went, "Hey, look at this. See this? This is his name. All the insurance of it. See down here, other. That's where you put Tourette's syndrome.
yeah.
You don't put me out there going, what the fuck?"
He was 5. You know how to spell it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have him come over my house anymore because this is the final thing he broke at my house. He comes in and he has his jacket on, and you know what I mean. I take my jacket off and I put it on the dining room chair because I'm fucking classy. You know, I don't fucking hang it up. He takes off his jacket. I see him going to the fucking, you pull those things open and they slide and they're white things, the nice wood. And he starts, and he fucking yanks it off the fucking thing. And I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he goes, "I'm hanging up my jacket." And and I go, "You put it on the fucking chair. You don't put it in the closet when I know it's for that, but you don't fucking open, I don't want a
Not
guy.
in this house.
Yeah, a fucking guy with Tourette's fucking waddling around with his fucking solo fucking.
You're gonna knock over my
powered
photo
fucking
albums.
arms,
Don't
retarded
invite him over
arms.
for Thanksgiving to carve the turkey.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
but
man.
that was it. I said, "You're not coming here no more because I'm not fucking cleaning up glass anymore or fucking fixing doors because you got to touch shit."
And you know what? He didn't twitch, except when he went on stage or when he was around certain people.
Because he was nervous.
Yeah, that's what he would kick him up.
It's one of those diseases or whatever the fuck it is, or
It's a syndrome.
as Kensel would call it, a gypsy curse. That, you know what I mean? It affects people. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't affect me. It helps me. It's like, hey, I learn, and this is pretty cool to watch. You know what I
it is
mean?
fun to
Somebody
watch.
hopping around and blah, 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 making fucking duck noises. That shit, you know what I mean? You would have to pay. You would have to pay for that if you like that kind of entertainment like I do.
You got to go to Goodwill's.
Yeah, but
If you go to a Goodwill, they have one in every store.
Yeah, but it's great to have them because
Oh,
they
yeah, man.
entertain you as much as you learn. You know what I mean? To see them, you know what I mean? You're out at a fucking restaurant. You're like, "Yeah, would you like more fried?" Yeah. And it's you fucking like going, "I'm not even paying for this." Thank God his parents did something bad that made this fucking human mess of a fucking meat, whatever it is, for my entertainment.
No more essential oils.
There was a story, and you can tell the story because I wasn't there. Well, I got a phone call to book the Iron Sheik roast.
Oh,
wow.
And I had a
Jesus,
couple
man,
comics
yeah.
on the roast, and Jimmy was one of the comics. Why don't you tell him what happened that night?
Yeah, that started out really well. I was really good friends with one of my best friends growing up was King Kong Bundy.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Bally's, and he passed away a couple months ago.
it's,
But he was. I've known him since we were kids.
And I put him on the roast because he's a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And I was a
He's
huge
a
fan
huge
of wrestling.
everything.
I knew all the guys. Yeah. And I wrote a lot of stuff. I did. I had a big thing, but I wrote this one joke, just one joke, and I tried to print it out on the index card. 4 index cards it fucked up. And I was like, so I called, and I'm like, "Listen, I got this great joke." And it's like, this is a sign from God not to do it. So I went in, I doing the roast, and I'm going through it, and everything's doing good. I mean, it's rolling along, Mean Gene Okerlund, all these superstars around me. And I'm like, "Yeah, it's awesome." And all of a sudden, I hear this commotion in the back, and I see this huge 6'6", 350-pound monster walking down the center of the aisle, and he's doing this to me. And I'm like, "Who the frick?" And I go, and I hear, "Yo, Razor Ramon's tackling you, Jimmy, get him." And they said Scott Hall.
Yeah.
And I had no idea who Scott Hall was. I mean,
right.
Gloucester County
know about
College
Razor.
is right down the street from my house. We have a Scott Hall there.
Right.
So I think there's a building. So he comes up and he's taking all the attention. He's like, "You goof." Wasted.
So I was like, you know what? I can't leave. Like I was done. I had like one more joke. So I went, you know what? I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I can't let him take this from me. So I ignored him and I said, I'm doing my joke.
I looked down at the Sheik who was sitting next to me, and I went, you know what, Sheiky baby, after you and Hacksaw Jim Duggan got caught sniffing coke in the parking lot, your careers fell faster than Owen Hart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is but it's a roast,
It
man.
is.
It's not-
Funny.
Well, he lost it. He came up and he choked me out. He like grabbed me
What?
by the throat. Yeah.
This is great.
Raised the remote, and I'm like,
Are you serious? Is this on tape?
It's on tape. Yeah,
Give
you
me
can-
it.
Yeah, it's on YouTube,
Wrestling's
man.
fake.
I got to
Wrestling's
see
fake.
this.
Yeah, man. He had me, and there was the only thing that as he grabbed me by the throat, I'm like, all of a sudden, I just saw all black.
So you didn't come?
Well, I changed.
I guess
my
wrestling's not all that fake, is it?
Yeah,
That
no,
is
man.
fucking
He had me, but-
great.
Yeah, he had me, man. It was crazy, and I'm
We gotta
just
see
like,
if we can pull up a clip of that.
We
Yeah,
gotta
that's
put
definitely
all these stories that if they're on tape that we've been talking to people.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
man.
fucked up. We have to see
the
this.
Scott Hall incident. You can look it up on YouTube. Scott Hall.
this
It's
is
got a
fucking
million
great.
views. I don't get a penny from it, but
Wow.
Yeah.
But you got choked.
yeah, really.
You
No,
got-
it's not my. It's not my
Oh, it's not your
video.
video. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
it
can
was
t-
his.
you can-
He came.
He
and turned,
taped it.
He came and turned his freaking camera on, and put it down first.
Did he say, "Hey, yo"?
Yeah, he was like,
Right.
oh man.
Hey,
Alright.
yo.
He set you up.
He was, and he was amazingly fucked up. And then later on that night, like after the show was over, they were escorting me around because people wanted to kill me.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, they wanted to fucking kill me.
You got that
dude.
on tape too?
Yeah, there might be one of
We got to put it
because
to.
I'm sitting. I was out in the lobby now.
This
you know?
is great.
And I hear somebody go, "Razor, there he is."
Holy shit.
And I went, "Oh fuck!" And he starts coming across. Now, at the meantime,
That's how the Jews felt with Hitler. Exactly. I know what you're talking. Go ahead. Go on.
So just then, I look over to I'm like, oh, Jesus, looking for an exit. And I look, and I see 2 state troopers.
Wow.
Now, he comes charging at me. And
Did
somebody
he have
goes,
his music on?
Yeah.
Theme music? Go ahead.
where's Tupac? No. And he came over to me, and he was coming for me, and somebody goes, Razor, troopers. So he reached in his pocket to grab an 8-ball of Coke
Yeah.
to toss. And when he did that, I guess they thought he was reaching in to get something. They tasered him.
Nice.
It was fucking
Holy
he's like,
shit.
and he's laying, and I walked over to him. I looked down. I go, "Look at you now. You look like a dying cockroach, you son of a bitch." Then they took me out the back door because everybody wanted to kill me.
Oh my God! That he got fucking tased at the end.
He did. It was crazy. And then I got a phone call. I guess it was about 3 weeks later.
There is a
and
Christmas.
it blew me away. And it was DDT.
Really?
Yeah, or DDP. Diamond Dallas Page.
DDT.
DDT. Yeah.
Yeah, the move called me. You know what? If I get a hold of you, Jimmy, I'm going to take you down. I heard what you said about Owen. I'm just a move.
No, it was a mosquito truck. But anyway, I get and I'm like, hello, and he goes, is this Jimmy Graham? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, hey, this is Diamond Dallas Page. And I'm like, yeah, right, okay, because I was getting crank calls left and right. And he's like, no, I've taken Scott in with me now, so I'm working with him.
Wow.
So just please do me a favor and you know, don't kill him. You know, like on social media and all.
Right.
And I did. I left it alone. He ended up getting a special on Netflix. You know, about his recovery.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He did help him. That guy helped.
He did. He helped him. And, you know, I mean, hey, God bless him. You do your thing.
Hey,
man,
shit
but
happens, man.
Shit happens, right? I
Life-
got choked. To
life
this day,
happens.
I say, if I had a neck, I'd be dead right now.
You would be.
It would have been
Yeah.
over, man.
Jesus.
But
That
yeah.
is
His
fucking.
hands
He
are
had
that big, they
big-
go around you, too.
His thumb was as big as my face, man. It was ridiculous. He's a big dude.
Steroids help.
Yeah, they definitely did. They definitely did.
You know what? I just before we get out of here, you got it. This is probably the funniest story ever for me. I never laughed so hard. Okay, when you you used to deliver Coke, right,
Yes.
or whatever,
Yeah, Pepsi, yep.
you had to take a shit downstairs.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Now tell that story because this is basically this should be on a greeting card. Like this is like this is like the greatest story I ever told
And
that was
it's-
ever told without somebody getting laid. Go ahead.
Honestly, it was embarrassing for me, but I
But no,
told it
tell
later.
it.
I was a route man, and I would go from store to store to store, and
Oh.
I got like all of a sudden, man, I'm in my truck and I have to take a major shit, and I'm like, where can I go? I'm in Fishtown, and I walk into this little tiny candy store. There's like a 78-year-old lady there, and I go, ma'am, please, I got to go to bed. Is there any way I could use your bathroom? She's, it's downstairs. So I go downstairs, and I walk down, and I see shelving with nothing but candy everywhere, and a toilet sitting in the middle of the room.
So?
And I go, all right, well, I guess this is what it is. I go over, I run over, I drop trowel, and I'm blah, 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 blah. Ah, yeah. And then I go like this. I look around, and I'm like, where's the toilet paper, man? And then I see something, and I lean like this, and the whole toilet lifts up on the one side. And I go, no! And I look across from me, and I see an open door with an inch crack. And in there, I see a sink and a toilet. And I just went, oh, Jesus Christ, no. I went upstairs and I left. The lady, I didn't ask her if she wanted soda or nothing. I'm like, I'm fucking out of here.
He never came back again.
I never went back. Never went back. I called the Coke guy. I'm like, this is no longer a Pepsi account. I think you need to go down there. And honestly, I think the Swedish fish tastes weird now.
I swear, the fucking... He shit. They were throwing out a toilet. He shit in it. If that ain't the greatest story ever told, fuck dude, Jesus coming back shit. This is better than Jesus coming back. This is fucking goddamn somebody shitting in a toilet that wasn't even, it was in the middle of a room.
It's
not
a
even in the bathroom.
non-functioning toilet. Yes.
We got two quick things. Give me your worst gig you ever did.
Worst gig? It just happened within 2 years. I get a call.
Shit.
I had to do.
And this is after how many years in the business?
23, 24. Okay. So I get a call from a national booker, and he's like, "Hey, there's a gig on a Monday at 4:00 at a assisted living home."
Okay.
And it was Monday. It was $400. It was 4:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, shit, yeah. So I drive down to Maryland, and it was in Maryland. I show up, and I'm a half an hour early, and the lady comes out, and she's like, "Is it Jimmy Graham? Is that you? Oh my God, come on in!" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, it was supposed to start 10 minutes ago." And I'm like, "Shit, old people and being late." So I walk in, and there's no microphone. It's just a bunch of chairs and about 8 of the most ancient people I ever seen in my life. And I'm like, "Do I have a mic?" And they're like, "No." So I start doing my stuff.
You don't need one.
And I'm like, so where are you from? And this lady in the front, I said, "Where are you from?" And she goes, "From Washington. I'm from Washington, D.C." And I go, "Oh, that's awesome." And I start talking around, and all of a sudden she raises her hand. And I go, "Yes." And she goes, "I'm from Washington, D.C."
Oh, no.
She did this like 6 times, and the lady next to her literally was like, "Somebody shut her the fuck up."
Oh, my God.
This old lady got up with a walker and walked out of my show. It took 6 minutes, and she was in the front and just creeped across, opened the door. It was an electric door, and it was chilly. The door's open. I go over to shut it, and it's an electric door. It wouldn't let me shut it, and they all yell at me, "It's going to shut by itself." This was horrible, and I'm thinking they can't hear each other, so they're talking. They're like, "Hey, is this all he's going to do? Is talk to us up here?" I get done the gig, and I go down, and the lady says, "I didn't get a check cut for you. Can I have your address?" I'm like, "You son of a bitch." So I'm thinking these people hated me, and as I'm walking out the door, one by one, these ladies came over and all grabbed my face. "Oh, you're so funny. You're so funny." And I wanted to kill myself. I thought that was the worst gig I've ever done in my life. And I felt guilty taking the money, but no, I didn't.
But at least you got
It's
laid.
a recreation.
Yeah, I got
directors
laid.
in
Well,
these
you know,
places. They think that,
and they're
you know
safe.
what, we
They don't
to do
have
something
any,
a little different.
Yeah.
So we'll bring a comedian, and they have no clue. What
Oh,
the
no,
audience.
they don't have any clue. That happened all December, man. It was ambush comedy.
One of the funniest stories with Jimmy. It's fucking legendary.
It is.
So Jimmy,
Any
had
other
to be
booker
about
would have never brought me back.
Yeah.
You know that. You're the only guy that would have ever brought
2
me
years ago. About 2 years ago. That 2 years was about your drama years, I
back.
guess.
Yeah, the last 2 years have been a little nuts.
Jimmy's supposed to be at my club at 8:00. I get a phone call from the police, Point Pleasant Beach Police,
Okay.
that they have Jimmy in custody because of traffic tickets. Now, he had used his son's car And I guess your son
No,
had
it was my son's. It was my car, but it was my son's car, but in my name.
Right.
So he got parking tickets.
Okay.
Parking tickets.
Yeah.
In Pittman, because you're not allowed to park in front of your house. And he never paid them. And when they would come in the mail, like the thing to say, if you don't pay it by next
Yeah.
month, he would take them. So here I am. Yeah.
So now the
my
police
God.
called me and said, "What's the latest we could bring him back to you?"
Wow.
I said, "Well, he's really supposed to be on stage by like 8:20, 8:30." He was, "All right, I'll keep you posted." And the cops are calling me. We're still waiting for paperwork. I'm like, I kind of like need him here. I mean, I'm thankful the cops even talking to me. They don't have to talk to me. They said, "Okay, listen, we're gonna drop him off in 5 minutes, and then when he's done, you need to call us. We're gonna take him back."
Oh, wow.
Stood at the
So
door
now
waiting
all of
for
a
me.
sudden, you see the cop car come on the opposite side of the road, pull right up in front of my club, empty out Jimmy. Jimmy goes on stage.
Takes the
He's
cuffs
"Go."
off me.
All right.
I go in here.
He's ready to come back.
Wow.
He came back, picked him up.
That's great.
And I'm in front of the club, and I'm like, yeah. And he goes, "Hey, you want me to hit the lights? I think it'll be funny."
Oh, God.
You think it's going to be funny? Yeah, you're a cop. Go home, beat your wife.
But it's so funny because the cop even said to me, because he's been at the club too, and he said to me, he said, "Dino, we would only do it for you. We would only do it for you."
Believe me, I was going to be there all night, man.
Oh,
and then I had to
shit.
call my kid to come get me because they impounded his car. So.
He goes, I would have said, no, I don't want to get a ticket, Dad. All right, let's get out of here.
All right, Jimmy,
Back,
thank you
sorry.
so much.
Absolutely, man.
All
Anytime
right.
you
Good
guys want
seeing
me
you,
here.
brother.
Bobby.
You're the man.
All right.
look, I got it right
Join
in the
us
blue.
every week on Behind the Laughter at BeTerrific.com. And also, there's another podcast there with Bob in it. I'm not in it, though.
Hey,
because
where are you
I'm-
from?
Yeah.
I don't have time.
If you're in Australia on the 27th, you can hear
It's
We're
when,
going
the,
out.
when the Levy or Levy breaks.
breaks, yes.
That's with Joe Conti and John Kensel, right?
Yep, Joe Conti and John Kensel and me bringing the views of the world, the people's voice to the New Jersey area and Secaucus and the world. So
See,
check
this,
it.
This is a show here where Bob's very calm. That's
Very
show he's
calm.
not too
This
calm.
is usually very unusual.
We're
for us,
informative here.
Yeah, I like that.
We want to teach people what it's like to be
It's not so fucking funny.
He's got John
behind.
Conti.
John.
Joe Conti. No, not John Conti.
I'm sorry.
Don't.
No. John
One's
Conti's
the
a
asshole,
turtle.
one's owns a comedy show.
Joe's a good guy, and so is Kensel, and that's because you are such a big comic. You need 2 openers, buddy.
I know. I need 100.
Hundreds of openers and at least 1 driver.
Well, just to
Anybody out
carry
there got a
me onto
license?
the stage.
Anybody with a
No,
license
that was
is an
me.
opener.
That was back in the day. That was
Yeah, I don't
that
drink.
was back in your old
License, you
days.
opener.
I don't drink
Oh
anymore.
man, how many times I took him in there? One time we went into a what the hell was the name of those? They were like out there. It's like Wawas, but they're out in the sticks. I don't know, but anyway,
Sheets.
Sheetses, and he goes in and he sees a daddy longlegger crawling across the floor,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he jumps in the air and lands on his stomach and grabs it and had it in his teeth.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, man.
I
Why
used
your back hurts?
No, I used to drink a little bit back
just
then.
a tad.
I just didn't know when to say no. You
You
know
thought
what I
it was the
mean?
worm in the tequila.
Bob
Yeah.
Levy has 4 stomachs like a cow. He can. He used to keep the vodka in one stomach, and he could eat and keep that in another.
Yeah.
And then when he had to drive, he would just get rid of the vodka.
I throw it
It was
out
the
the
most
window.
amazing thing I ever seen in
I'd
my
be
life.
like, "Bleh, I got to get rid of this
I
because
gotta
we're
get
going
rid of
out.
this vodka, and it would come out straight vodka. I could put a cup under it and drank it. It really.
Yeah,
would've been
it was
fun.
pure. It
On
was.
that note, let's call it a night.
We'll see you guys
Later,
next
guys.
time.